What is up? What is up, guys? This is your man Jay Who back in another video. Um, Thank you for watching the last video. Shout out to my man Mike, man, who always shows me support every time. He's always commenting, saying wonderful things. He's always a light in the comment section. So anybody that shows love, man, I show love right on the video and just give you a shout out. So God bless that man. And I just grateful for him for checking out my channel. Um, Today I want to talk about the curse of the people pleaser, right? I couldn't think of no other title for that, but I was a people pleaser, and it took me a long time to come out of that. When I was a kid, right, I had issues with my father growing up, and I did not get the love that I thought I should be getting. I didn't get the attention that I thought I should be getting. And I did everything I could at that time to try to get his affection, his love. But what I didn't know that I know now is that he was operating from a broken place from his childhood as well, right? You heard the term, the phrase, hurt people hurt people. And that's so true, right? Excuse me. That's so true, because he was lacking in something and I couldn't see that at the time. And I'm talking about, I was so hurt for years. I made songs about him when I was doing my own hip hop career and stuff. And I was just broken because of that. But to get back to what I was saying, God opened my eyes and made me realize that his rejection caused a chain reaction in me, and I feel his presence, to desire exception, right? His rejection caused me to desire exception, right? And that's pretty deep, right? It's like from elementary school, I call it grammar school, where we come from Chicago, but from elementary school on up, I spent most of my days just trying to please people, trying to make them laugh, trying to make them like me. I was really good at imitating voices, making people laugh, and just doing crazy stuff. That was my personality at home as well. I was pretty silly, but it was turned up a notch extra when it came to school, because I wanted people to see me, right? I wanted people to acknowledge me. And I wanted that love and attention from somebody. And it also caused me to be obsessed with being in a relationship too at that time, when I was younger. I was never the guy, believe it or not, growing up, that desired to be with many women. I wanted just one woman because I wanted that love, that affection, that exception, right? I wanted all of that because I was lacking in where my father, did not show me love, did not show me attention at. And it just birthed a monster, man. I was people pleasing, to go into adulthood, went from making people laugh to going to adulthood where I'm working these, I noticed when you're a people pleaser, your career path is totally different, because I went into a career path of customer service. I was always in customer service. If I wasn't working at retail, I was serving people, or I was working in hotels. I had a desire to work in hotels because I was really good at putting on the act. Some people would call it code switching, right? I was very good at code switching, almost to a fault where some of my friends would be like, man, you don't talk like that in real life. Why are you talking like that in front of these people, and blah, blah, blah. And, I was just like, look, I'm being professional. But it led me to eventually always being like that. Whenever I wasn't on the job, whenever I was just simply around people of a different color, I would just be talking all high-pitched voice, hey, hi, oh, hi, putting on this fake voice, putting on this fake smile, right? being somebody I wasn't, even in my darkest years. And I'm talking about I had some dark years where I was suicidal, and I still was like, oh, there goes some people, let me put on the act, let me put on the face, right? Because I don't want my mood and how I'm acting and my energy to rub off on them. So let me please them by keeping up with their energy. So when somebody would be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, all that other stuff, I'd be like, oh, I'm fine. I would mimic their energy. And that wasn't me. I was going through pain. I was miserable. But since I was a child, that little seed, sown of rejection had birthed me into this big time people pleaser where no matter what, even if it hurt me, I still would put on the act just so I could please people, just so I didn't make people unhappy with me, and it drove me crazy for many years, man, many years. And God has a funny way of magnifying that to you, because I used to be so good at putting on that phony face, that smile and that attitude as if nothing's going on, nothing's going wrong. But when I got into later in my life, into my porn addiction, then that's when everything fell apart and I couldn't hold that face anymore. So what I mean is I would still attempt to like smile and people please and stuff like that. Sorry. People please, but it came out awkward. I became socially awkward. So I'd be like, hey, how you doing? Or it was never a genuine smile. It was never a genuine energy that I gave off. And some people saw right through it and others didn't. They had no clue. That just goes to show a lot of people are so obsessed with themselves, and you think they're thinking about you, but they're in their own little world, So yeah, I couldn't fake it anymore, and I became socially awkward, and I was so uncomfortable in my body, and I was just like, what am I gonna do? Pleasing people, right? People pleasing people, trying to make them happy, when we just gotta accept ourselves for who God made us, right? Because I could say accept ourselves for who we are, but we have to learn who we truly are, right? Because we were born believing a lie, but the moment you get introduced to Christ and you start reading the Bible, you find out who you truly are, and then you begin to self-love, right? You begin to start loving yourself. And one thing I want to get out of this video for people is not only just to avoid people pleasing, right, with all your might, but to start accepting yourself for the way you look, right? I hear this garbage all the time about colorism, and I don't mean to offend anybody. So if anybody gets upset, look, I'm coming from a real truthful standpoint. God made everybody beautifully and wonderfully made. So the problem is people don't understand what attraction is, right? I believe, right, this is my thing, and this is one thing that I had to learn, because at one point I used to get offended about it. But then I realized that, that saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Another way of saying it is that we are all wired to like a specific type of look, specific type of person. And there's somebody out there for everybody that is wired to like that person, right? And when more people start to open their eyes and realize God made me beautifully, and whoever doesn't like the way I look, I'm not offended, because I know that the person that is attracted to me, the way I look, my facial features, and how God created me, right? Now God didn't create any of us to be obese. Let me just say that right now. So if you're obese or you, it's anything that didn't involve God, right? And that's not no shot at anybody, right? Because I used to be overweight myself and I lost weight. I started taking care of my body. But God created you a certain way. And there's somebody out there that's going to desire the very person you are. Your laugh, your smile, your the way you act, the way you giggle, your skin tone. That's a big thing, right? It doesn't matter what skin tone you are. This is all demonic. This colorism thing, people don't understand that the devil is here to separate, right? He's here to separate believers and unbelievers. So he causes division, and we get this division from these worldly arguments. But you got to accept yourself for how God made you, For years, I'll just come out and say it. I couldn't stand the way my nose looked. Didn't think it looked right on my face. So I used to be very sensitive when I was growing up about people joking about my nose. I would get so, this is bring back memories. I would get so defensive, and I would start pulling out the dozens. A lot of y'all young cats, y'all don't know about the dozens, so I'm not even gonna go into that. But all they had to do was say something about my nose, man, and it was on, man. But later on in life, I began to accept myself for who I am, and partially also change my diet, because I realized a good portion of what I didn't like about my face was because inflammation was causing my face to swell up. Because I had puffy face, my nose was kind of puffy a little bit, and I found out that a lot of times your diet causes you to look less like how God created us. So you just got to educate yourself on, first of all, the knowledge of yourself through God's word, right? Start reading the epistles, start reading the New Testament. Find out how beautifully and wonderfully made you are, right? Because when I look at everybody out there, every race out there, I've come to realize, because I've seen more people now throughout my life on this planet, God has made people beautiful, right? There's people with different color eyes. There's some people with different shades of skin tones, black, butter pecan, I call it butter pecan, but the Latins, they have their own skin tone. White people have their own skin tone. Africans. I mean, it's just beautiful how God has made us. And it's kind of like, just like the animals, right? The tiger looks totally different from the lion, but they're both beautiful. The zebra is different from the horse, but they're both beautiful, right? Everything that God has created is beautiful, and you've got to accept it for what it is, and you've got to accept yourself for who you are. Don't try to change yourself for people, right? If anything, improve on yourself for God, right? And don't, like, if you're somebody that wears makeup, right? Because I'm not here to tell anybody what to do when it comes to that. And beauty, right, should be enhanced and never covered up. Don't cover yourself up. Enhance your beauty, but never cover it up, right? Because there's this trend now where women are just covering their entire face up. And it's so beautiful, man. I see it all the time. Embrace who you are. Embrace your hair. Embrace your eyes, your teeth, your nose. Embrace everything about you. Take care of yourself. And eventually you will see that beauty in you. It took me a long time to see the value in myself and how wonderfully made God made me. I used to then like my voice, right? And then I learned to embrace everything God has made on me and in me. So love yourself. Stay away from people pleasing, man, because it will drive you insane. Because at the end of the day, people are going to hate you for being yourself, and people are going to hate you for not being yourself. So why not be yourself for the rest of your life? I guess that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm feeling a little, motivational today. So love yourself, and get closer to God, find out who you truly are, and self-love will come easy. Okay? That's it for today, guys. God bless you all. Peace, peace, peace. Be unto you. Later.